You're watching a Highwire Media podcast.
Hello, Texas Ranger fans, and welcome to the first episode of 2025. I'm your host, as always, Larry Lace. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And with that, let's dive into today's episode. Starting off, we're going to try to make some sense of the Texas Rangers offseason after a flurry of moves. Having a team win the World Series and then immediately become non-contenders is not something we see too often in today's game. The Texas Rangers have managed to do that just in the span of a single year, winning the 2023 World Series just to finish the 2024 season 6 games under 500. Entering the 2024-25 offseason, the Rangers had more roster holes to fill than most other teams in the league. Not only that, but they had an immense amount of pressure riding on their shoulders. Organizations can't go from the highest to highs, the lowest to lows as quickly as Texas has, without their fans getting antsy. Amidst quite a bit of uncertainty surrounding their TV deal for the 2025 season, the Rangers haven't come out and said they're going to have much money to work this winter. They've let their actions do the talking. Let's take a look at their biggest roster moves of the offseason and determine how they've done in shoring up the roster. So, first off, addressing the bullpen. Each of Kirby Yates, David Robertson, Jose Leclerc, Jose Urena, and Andrew Chafin hit the open market, and the Rangers' 2025 bullpen looked extremely weak because of it. There was no less than 4 spots up for grab once you factor in the internal replacements Texas already had on hand. The Rangers have signed right-handers Jacob Webb and Sean Armstrong to 1-year contracts, as well as a single-year pact with left-hander Obi Milner. Robert Garcia was also acquired in a 1-for-1 swap with the Washington Nationals in exchange for first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. Chris Young understood the assignment when it came to addressing the bullpen. Even still, there appears to be at least one more spot available for an external addition. Yates and Robertson have both been connected to a reunion with the Rangers at various points this offseason. So bringing either of them back would not be the cherry on top for a bullpen overhaul. Nathan Eovaldi has had 2 seasons atop the Rangers rotation, and they've been 2 of the strongest he's had in his 13-year career. The right-hander joined a long list of relievers hitting the open market this offseason. The Rangers wasted no time bringing him back into the fold. Eovaldi was re-signed to a 3-year contract that will see him continued as the staff ace. He's been the face of consistency over the past 6 years or so. Texas is going to need him to remain that way for the foreseeable future. He's had H9 in the 7.0 range in each of the past 2 years, which is the lowest it's ever been in his career. So it's clear that his fit with Texas is one that's meant to be. Jonah Heim will be back atop the depth chart at catcher for the Rangers in 2025, but the club was without a true backup heading into the offseason. Carson Kelly has signed with the Cubs. Andrew Knizner is a free agent. Sam Huff was just recently designated for assignment. Clearly, external help was needed. Texas found their man, bringing aboard 34-year-old backstop Kyle Higashioka into the mix. The 8-year veteran is coming off the best offensive season of his career and was one of the most valuable catchers on the open market prior to his signing. He hit 17 home runs and posted a 101 OPS plus in just 84 games this past year on the Padres. After Heim struggled at the plate in 2024, the Rangers needed a catcher who could hit just in case the 2023 All-Star struggles continue. Higashioka is on the wrong side of 30, but he's got a double-digit home run pop in his bat and is a well-respected veteran when it comes to his handling of pitching staffs. The Rangers did an outstanding job at adding power to the lineup for the 2025 campaign and beyond. Just this past year, their DHs finished 28th in baseball in home runs and batting average, 29th in WRC+, and dead last in OBP and slugging. On December 11th, the Rangers acquired Jake Burger from the Miami Marlins in exchange for a pair of infield prospects and a pitching prospect. Burger is coming off a season in which he hit 29 home runs and drove in 76 runs through 137 games. He can play both infield corners and has a lot of raw power for the Rangers to lean on. Speaking of raw power, Rangers traded low and immediately signed free agent Jock Peterson, who's got some of the most impressive light power in the game today. In 2024, the 11-year veteran hit 23 home runs with a career high 908 OPS, or 151 OPS plus. He does all of his damage against right-handed pitching and is completely unplayable against southpaws. But he hits the ball farther than anyone when he connects. All in all, the Rangers' offseason has featured moves with a purpose as they look to return to relevancy in 2025. And with that, on to our next topic. Texas loses a pitcher to the Reds, but rebounds to sign a lefty in free agency. The Texas Rangers continue to make moves to shore up their big league roster. Entering the offseason, they had one of the longer to-do lists in the game, but they've now traded for some much-needed power, re-signed their ace, signed a backup catcher, and now they've made their second major addition to the bullpen. First, it was right-hander Jacob Webb, but then the Rangers brought aboard left-hander Obi Milner, who's been an off-used reliever out of the Brewers' bullpen for the past few years. As of right at this moment, Milner is the third left-handed reliever projected to be on the Rangers' opening day roster, alongside Jake Latz and rookie Walter Pennington. In addition to the signing of Milner, the Rangers also freed up a space on the 40-man roster when pitcher Rosny Contreras was lost on waivers to the Cincinnati Reds. Milner is a native to Dallas and will quite literally be right at home with his new organization. The Southpaw has been as durable as they come over the past few years, making no less than 61 appearances in each of the past 3 campaigns in Milwaukee. Milner has a unique sidearm windup and doesn't throw very hard. However, his odd mechanics can make it difficult for the opposition to pick up some of offerings. He doesn't strike a ton of batters out due to his low velocity, but he has a ton of movement on his pitches and has been a very successful pitcher as his career has progressed. In each of the past 3 years, Milner has an FIP in the 3.13 to 3.16 range. Even if his ERA doesn't always match that, he had a 3.76 ERA in 2022 and a 1.82 ERA in 2023 before posting a 4.73 mark last season. However, his 3.14 FIP last year suggests that it was more unlucky than anything else. In a Rangers bullpen that seriously lacks experience, Milner will be a welcomed addition. Then there's Contreras, who is now a member of the Reds organization. 25-year-old at one point looked to be a promising starter in the making for the Pittsburgh Pirates before he ran into such significant inconsistencies that they wound up moving on from him. Past season, the right-hander made 46 relief appearances in 3 starts, between the Pirates and Angels, posting a 4.35 ERA and a 97 ERA+. At one point, he was projected to be the Rangers' closer in 2025, but he hasn't shown that he's capable of holding down such a role at any time during his 4-year career. We call this a worthwhile swap for the Rangers, who badly needed capable bullpen arms for 2025. Let me know your thoughts on the Rangers' moves this offseason in the comments section below. And now on to our next topic. The Rangers were forced to pivot after losing a trade partner following the Bellinger and Goldschmidt deals. Few teams have been more active this offseason than the Texas Rangers, who have quietly done a solid job of addressing their roster needs. Sure, there's plenty more to be done, but they signed Kyle Higashioka and Jacob Webb, traded for Jake Berger, and brought back Nathan Eovaldi, all within a week or so. The addition of Berger is particularly interesting, as it paved the way for the Rangers to facilitate the exit of Nathaniel Lowe to date. Lowe has topped out at 27 home runs, but his slugging has hit new career lows in each of the past 2 seasons. This ended up being a concern of the Rangers, who can use all the pop they can get. This reality forced Lowe to the trading block. Texas shipped him to Washington on Sunday, seemingly asserting their belief that his power is slowly going the way of the dodo. Adding to the fact that the Rangers' lack of a television deal for 2025 has them feeling a bit strapped for cash, and Lowe's $10.7 million projected arbitration number became a bit too rich for their liking. But before Washington came calling, Lowe certainly seemed like a fit for the Yankees, a team flush with the pitching depth Texas has long sought. Who knows how things would have shaken out, but the Yankees probably could have given the Rangers a stronger offer than left-hander Robert Garcia, if only the two sides could have met a week ago. Lowe still has a ton of value. Power dip be damned. He still has 15 to 20 home run potential, and he fields his position at first base with the best of them. Just recently, one club that absolutely could have used someone like Lowe was the New York Yankees, who had a glaring need at first base after moving on from Anthony Rizzo this offseason and receiving less than stellar production from rookie Ben Rice. However, the Yankees made their move. The club landed Cody Bellinger from the Cubs, outfielder by trade, but one who also has extensive experience at first base. The Yankees then signed Paul Goldschmidt to cover first base for 2025, keeping long-term flexibility. There was a way that Lowe and Berger could have coexisted in the Rangers lineup. Berger is a third baseman by trade, but he also has experience at first base. Texas's front office disagreed, though, feeling like the pressure was on. Rangers sold high, but not as high they could have if the Yankees had still been interested. Following the Nathaniel Lowe trade, the Rangers signed a famed lefty slugger, and we're going to talk about that. First was Jake Berger, a corner infielder the Rangers acquired from the Marlins in an absolute heist of a trade. Now the club signed Jock Peterson to a 2-year, $37 million contract. Peterson's deal will include an opt-out following the upcoming season. Peterson, an 11-year veteran, just wrapped up a 23-homer season with the Arizona Diamondbacks, where he also posted a 908 OPS and 151 OPS plus in 132 games. He's basically a non-factor against left-handed pitching, but he possesses true light power against righties. So count on him to form a platoon at designated hitter for the upcoming season. The Rangers, like we said, traded first baseman Nathaniel Lowe to the Washington Nationals in exchange for a relief pitcher with insane strikeout stuff. Essentially, the club elected to replace Lowe in his slowly declining power with Peterson, whose reputation speaks for itself as a power hitter veteran with extensive playoff experience. This past season, the Rangers finished just 9th in the American League in home runs and 12th in WRC+. Their biggest roster hole has clearly been the bullpen, but don't sleep on their next offensive firepower. Chris Young has kept the pedal to the metal in recent days to get the roster for the upcoming campaign shored up. Bringing aboard multiple power bats was absolutely a part of the vision. Of course, the Rangers also finished in the bottom half of the AL in most offensive categories against left-handed pitching, but Peterson's addition on its own is not going to help that. Berger, however, should provide more than enough thump against southpaws. There's no doubt that the Rangers have quietly put together one of the best off-seasons in the league so far. They've done an efficient job of bringing aboard proven winners with long track records of success, and they appear to be headed for a much-needed rebound after the disappointment that was 2024. And with the news of Jock Peterson, that deal has been made official, and Anderson has been DFA'd. The Texas Rangers officially announced the signing of outfielder and DH Jock Peterson to a 2-year, $37 million deal. To make room for Peterson on the 40-man roster, Rangers have designated relief pitcher Grant Anderson for assignment. Peterson turns 33 in April and was a center fielder when he first reached the majors, but moved to left field in 2018 and has primarily been a DH the past 2 seasons. Peterson would seem likely to be the Rangers' DH against right-handers in 2025. He had 407 plate appearances against right-handers last year to the Arizona Diamondbacks versus 22 against lefties, and started only 1 game against a left-handed pitcher last year. Peterson has a career-best 151 OPS plus last season, slashing at 275, 393, 515, 2.9 B WAR. Was the second best of his career. For his career, Peterson has a 246, 349, 494 slash line against right-handed pitchers, and a 210, 300, 330 slash line against lefties. With Peterson needing a roster spot, Grant Anderson ended up being the odd man out. The side-arming righty spent a good chunk of 2023 in the majors with Texas, though with an underwhelming 5.05 ERA, 4.66 FIP. He was an up-and-down guy in 2024 and struggled with an 8.10 ERA and 26.2 innings pitched, and allowed a whopping 11 home runs. Anderson has been somewhat effective in his career against right-handed hitters, allowing a 271, 320, 348 slash line against them. Lefties have killed him, however, slashing 319, 410, 791, putting 14 home runs in 105 plate appearances. There is a certain symmetry to this exchange, themes. A lefty hitter who crushes right-handed pitching takes the 40-man roster spot of the guy who can't get left-handers out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/PTRangers. As always, no matter how much you give, whether it's $1, $5, 10, 50, 20, 100, it's all appreciated by the Talking Texas Rangers crew. Your support goes directly back into this channel to upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. We'd love to do live episodes from Globe Life Field or the All-Star Game or even the World Series, and your support can help make that happen. As always, you can find us on all major podcast platforms, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, you can find us there. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like our videos. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will see you next time.